Welcome to the Station Wagon. I'm the older brother, Mark.
And I'm little sister, Julie.
Today, we're going to try a little mini episode here. Mark, I found some clickbait, and I thought it was really interesting, so I sent it to you. But then what I also did was I looked at the study that the clickbait was based on, and I just want to talk about it.
Cool.
Can you just describe the clickbait to our listeners?
Yeah, totally. It is a nice-looking picture of a wedge of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And underneath that cheese, there's a caption that says that full-fat dairy stuff, cheese, yogurt, milk, isn't bad for you. Study, ... So it makes me want to click on that to find out, oh, cool, dairy stuff, cheese, yogurt, and milk isn't bad for me. That's great news.
It has that magic word in there of study. And so, therefore, you don't even need to click on it. You could just start chowing down on some brie and be all good.
But really, isn't the point of clickbait that it gets you to click on whatever is underneath the ad?
Yeah, I think so. But I also think the way our human brains work is that if we see this stuff a lot, we just start to absorb it as, oh, yeah, I think I saw somewhere that, studies have said this isn't bad for me. So, science, they're always coming out with different things.
Right. But the goal of clickbait is to get you to actually click on it so that you get eyeballs on whatever stuff is underneath the clickbait. And in a lot of cases, they're using clickbait to get you to legitimate articles. So I would love to hear what you found when you actually got through to this thing, because because I'm guessing my theory about clickbait is,
what do you guess?
Now, I think it didn't used to be legit, but I think now the legitimate publishers of content are starting to use the clickbait style just to get people dragged in.
That's totally true. And that's what surprised me. So I clicked on it and I thought it was going to be, National Enquirer. Or it went to a moderately okay one. It went to USA Today. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of surprising that USA Today has to revert to these kind of methods.
So what did you find out?
Yeah, so the article was still along the same lines, the USA Today article. It said, pass the cheese, please, and the cream, and a carton of full-fat yogurt. And yes, eat it to your heart's content. And the article briefly summarized the research study that all this is based on and came to the stunning conclusion that you can eat all the cheese and stuff you want because science has finally determined, no, this stuff ain't bad for you.
So that article, did it come to the same conclusion? I mean, USA Today, did they do their homework and really recount the peer-reviewed article correctly?
Well, so I did look it up and read the whole thing a couple times. And it's from the European Journal of Epidemiology, which is a solid publication. They had a good journal and they also had a good method. They did this meta-analysis, which is when you take a lot of different studies and then you combine the findings from all the studies to make a broader generalization. First of all, they only looked at mortality. So that was their outcome. Did people die? And mortality due...
You mean, did people die from eating like full-fat cheeses and things?
Yeah.
You don't mean like instantly die, but like over the long term was cause of death attributed to eating this stuff.
Right. Mortality due to cardiovascular disease.
Got it.
When you control for all the different variables. So you're controlling for age, you're controlling for obesity, you're controlling even for total caloric intake. If you eat full-fat cheese and dairy, it does not kill you faster than low-fat dairy.
Well, good. The USA Today article was right on the money then.
But we're not talking about people who are just scarfing down cheese compared to vegans, right? It's not that the original tagline in this, which was, and yes, eat it to your heart's content. So here's my conclusion. If I were able to rewrite this article, it would be, let's say you're going to make some lasagna. No big deal about the ricotta. Don't go with the low-fat ricotta. You only make lasagna once a month. Go with the full-fat, delicious ricotta, the full-fat mozzarella. Make it really good. Just don't eat quite as much. And that's not going to kill you any faster. It was a null result. Anyway, I would not phrase it as eat it to your heart's content.
It's funny. So like a null result, you don't really see that in popular periodicals very often.
Totally. It's not very exciting. But null findings, that's really what we get most often. And just for folks who haven't been in a research class for a while, null finding means, one wasn't really worse than the other. Our null hypothesis came true. Everything was equal. And that's usually what's going to happen. And that's certainly the case here. Yep, one doesn't kill you faster.
So what is then the point of this clickbait initially then? Is it because it's motivated by the cheese lobby?
It's motivated by whatever advertisers are on USA Today.
Right. And so you just described how the USA Today article wasn't totally off base and totally wrong. So it's no harm, no foul, then, is what you're saying.
I would say if I was one of their editors, maybe take out that part about eat it to your heart's content, because that certainly was not what the article was saying. And the clickbait itself was, this stuff isn't bad for you. I think that's probably accurate. Yeah, it's not quite so bad for you. It's not going to kill you right away or even slowly.
Well, Julie, thank you very much for that interpretation.
You're welcome. Okay, listeners, we're a little undecided about whether or not this was entertaining enough for the feed. So let us know, and let us know if you find any clickbait that you want us to discuss. I'll read the journal article that it's based on and let you know whether...
Especially those kind that say something like, and you'll never guess what happened.
You'll never believe number 6.
Oh, those are the best.
Yeah. Wait. Here's my tagline. This is going to be awesome. Listen to this. Okay. And we'll determine, is it just conjecture or a critical finding?
Nah, yeah.
And then we call this whole thing critical findings.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see what people...
Yeah. Maybe you didn't hear it good. And we'll discuss, was it conjecture or a critical finding? Did you hear it that time?
I did hear it that time. What if we call it, was this a complete waste of time, or did I learn something?
Clickbait conjecture.
Clickbait waste of time? Cheese, yogurt, milk isn't bad for you. Study, ... Sponsored by, get this, Julie, news.
Sounds legit. Quiz time. Who's got 4 legs, an opposable tail, and fans all over the world? It's Scooby-Doo, our favorite whooper. Join me and my guests on the Meddling Kids podcast for an irreverent review of Scooby-Doo. It's family friendly, although there is occasional talk about hot villains. Join me, Julie Kinn, every Monday on the Meddling Kids podcast.